but my grandma kept saying, David was young, and so, and that's also a thing, school is my mission field, and I don't have to wait to, till I go back. I can start here. I don't have to sit back, and we just have it so easy here to where it's just kind of, we go to camp, camp high, and then it just dies down. But now those people, they are just, I wish I could take y'all all, just like show y'all. I mean, except for the ones that have been on trips before, you know how it feels, but, like Destiny said, I was talking to her and I was like, how can I show them? She said, you can only give a glimpse. Probably the hardest part while we were there was even like going out and sharing our faith. I was really nervous and scared, and the pastor prayed for us, so because he was like, you may experience spiritual warfare. I was like, no, I got this. These people are going to be ready. It's going to be really fun. We got there house after house after house. People either walked away while we were talking or they just weren't receptive. And so I was just kind of like, I had the attitude after like the fourth house. I was like, this is pointless. Why are we here? All they want is the Bible, and that's it, just because it's a free gift, because they never get anything. And so they kept trying to encourage me to talk, and I'm like, no, I don't want to talk. We got to the last house, and I was like, I don't want to talk, all these people are sitting around, and they're like drinking and stuff, and they just did not look like, they're like, leave, why are you here? And so the youth pastor that was with us, he taught me into it, and if you've ever done it, if you've ever been on this trip, it's the best feeling ever, just praying over those people and praying with them and sharing your faith. I was so glad I did it because not many people get to experience that feeling.
Can you share with them a little bit about the problem they have with the police there and people impersonating? I was trying to hit that.
I always learned what matters and what doesn't. And I know as a 15-year-old girl, I'm always like, boys. And I learned that my goal now, until, say, a good relationship comes along, is to glorify God and to not worry about boys, because that's not what I'm here to be worrying about. And that right now my focus is missions, and that's what God's called me to do, foreign or not. I feel called to the Dominican, but I'm willing to go where He leads me. That's what Craig was saying. We would ride the work truck every day, and we would take turns because, you in the back of the truck and you get to see people and stuff. And we got pulled over like it was a cop, and it ended up it wasn't. And they were just tricking us, and they ended up stealing a lot of stuff off our truck, so we couldn't ride our truck anymore. But we also, like, if you would go in houses, you weren't allowed to compliment them on anything because they come from having nothing. So if you say, hey, that's a nice vase or something, they're going to insist on giving it to you, and then they'll get offended. And so we weren't allowed to say any of that stuff, compliment them. We just were there to say, hey, stop and leave. Our food that we ate, I wasn't sure what. Every meal, I had no idea what it was, but it didn't kill me, so and every morning we would eat eggs, but it wouldn't be like eggs here. It's just like raw eggs stirred up with chunks of ham and cheese. And so I've only ate eggs one time since I'm coming back because I just can't do whole egg right now because it still grosses me out. We also, if y'all didn't hear my luggage story, I ended up almost tug of war with this man because we were taught to not let anybody grab your bags while you're there because they would follow you around and expect you to pay them. And so you're just supposed to be like, no gracias, and just walk away and hold on tight because they would probably try to snatch it. And so when we get to the hotel and this guy's like, I'll help you with your luggage because I went up by myself and I'm like, no gracias, and I'm holding it and he starts pulling it and I'm going back and forth. Comes to find out he's the hotel guy and he's supposed to carry our luggage. And I'm trying to speak Spanish to him because I let him know. And he's speaking English and he's like, yes, but we're going to just
It didn't connect.
about the driving experience?
Oh yeah, their driving is crazy. If you've ever been over the country, I don't know exactly this, but it is like insane. Like we had to take car sick medicine when we were just going to be driving for like 30 minutes because it was like and for stopping, like they honk, and so like the car knows to stop. And then like if we would go into town, they would have like grown men and like kids out there with buckets and soap and a sponge, and they would like jump on your car and start like washing it. So every time we stopped, the pastor would turn his windshield wipers on, and I guess that meant no, they couldn't jump on there. So I was like really nervous because they spotted us out. They would be like Americans, you know, like give us money. They'd be knocking on the window, and I'd be like, what do I do? Because these are like cute little kids, and that was really hard, and it was a fun experience, I guess, besides the car sickness.
Tell them about you sharing Christ, how receptive they were, and when you spoke.
We had to use a translator, so like after every few sentences I would stop. But the kids were more receptive, I would have to say, like the older kids, because they developed a really close relationship with us. But the people that I talked to, they weren't receptive. Really, they just kind of waved back or got them talking. It was hard, but it was also a good feeling at the same time knowing that I planted that seed and that it wasn't on my hands anymore. We also, at the kids' VBS, 15 got saved. So that was really touching, you know, even though the houses that we went to weren't really saved. But, and this is also the necklace that we made with the kids at the VBS. And so, I don't know if I'll ever see John Day again. We were really close. He would ask every day, "Hasta mañana," which means see you tomorrow. Monday I had to tell him no, and he started crying. And yeah, I don't know if I'll be back to see him ever again, but I know that God has called me to this, and that I'll be back, whether I see him again or not. Whether he leads me, you know, to not the Dominican or not, you know, I know that this is my purpose, and that I was truly blessed, and that I just wish I could take all y'all, because I feel it, and I just want to let y'all feel it. And we can't sit back. You know, we have to start here, because we're just as bad as those 7,000 and only 500 churches here. And we're the next generation. We can't just sit back at school, you know. These people are going around, and their lives are threatened when they're going around sharing the gospel, when we have it easy like that. But we choose not to because we sit back. And that also really just touched me, because I sit back, and God's really worked on me with that, because nothing's getting done if we sit back, because people at our school, walking on the hallways, you know, we have the opportunity so much, and I had that opportunity that whole week, and it was the biggest blessing of my life, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, because I know that God has called me to this, and I know that where he leads me, I'll follow.
Very good.
Hey, does anybody have any questions for Kayla about her mission trip?
Was the school, was it sponsored by the church? Is this like a Christian school?
Yeah, it was a Christian school. Pastor Juan and Raina, they run the school, and he's the pastor at the church. They're both like connected, sort of. And John and Donna, I want y'all to keep them in your prayers. They live in the worst part of the Dominican, besides La Ramona. And they've been visiting the Dominican for 13 years, and they just moved down there 2 years ago, and they have a 13-year-old daughter that lives with them. And they go through a lot of witch doctors showing up at their house, and like people coming up wanting to confess their sins, and showing them pictures of murders they've done. And so they're really challenged there, but they're serving God, and
They've made like a gated community.
They also made a gated community with a chapel and a cafeteria for the people to come in, and like a hospital type center, and then their house is also in the gate, so it's all like that.
So are they from the States?
They're from Athens.
may want to explain to them about the island as a whole. I don't think a lot of people realize that Haiti is right next door on the same island.
Yeah, and every, like, Friday and Saturdays, they have like a Haitian market, kind of like a flea market is what we call it here. And like, they actually have like Haitians like everywhere in those 2 days with like all this stuff. But of course, we weren't able to get out and look at it because it wasn't the safest thing, but, yeah. And there's a lot of Haitians in the Dominican.
So the school, you were talking about they had like a gatekeeper. What's the age group and, I mean, how do they get to be able to come to the school?
That's a good question. Like, I know they
Always
live
ask good
around in that.
Yeah.
Like, the gatekeeper is to keep people out that are like, because they know it's a Christian school. If it's like a witch doctor or something, I know they deal with that last year with them coming in with the mission team, witch doctors. But, and it also keeps, because we were also eating in the school, and so she was definitely on guard because kids would try to come in and steal your food. But, and she also kept the gate for like kids that weren't really around and of the church. Like, I know that the kids of the church can go to that school. But they only had 3 classrooms downstairs, and that's all they had. So they were working, and while we were there, we were working on 6 classrooms.
What ages are the children? That's something.
Most of them were like in like 1st and 2nd grade. Now there were older kids there, so it's not, there's not many kids, but they were at a room with just 3 classrooms. There was a lot of young kids. Anybody else?
Where you stayed at, did y'all have like running water?
We, it was kind of, I mean, it was nice for, you know, what I was expecting. It was a lot better than what I thought, but, we couldn't drink the water or anything, or like when we took a shower, we had to, like, you know, here, I'm like, oh, you know, but there you're like, because you do not want the water in your mouth or anything. And like, we walked into the bathroom, like, their windows are just like cracked, so like you could see out the window, and there's no like glass or anything. I'm like, there's just a shower head. There's like no shower curtain, there's no door, and I'm like, I'm just gonna like shower like right here. Like, you know, this is not what I, you know. So that was a lot of change for me too. Where I was sleeping and staying for the week, it was a lot different. You had to be really careful because of germs and stuff. Anybody else? Any questions?
So, were like American stuff for the kids like on activity and all that?
Yeah, they really liked my hair. They would always like, you know, they would just like come up and they would like feel your arms, and like this guy had like some tattoos, and they were like trying to like scratch it off and stuff. They just like kept pointing to it.
They left them your shampoo about fast.
Yeah, they asked to keep my shampoo because they thought their hair would grow like mine. So they said, "You come back next year, my hair will be like yours," and I was like, "Sure." So yeah, I actually got to Skype the pastor's daughter, and so I told her that I would be taking Spanish this year, and she was like, "Wish you the best," because they tried to teach me while I was there, and it was good.
Anything else? Caleb? You got anything else?
Very
Like,
good.
y'all give Kayla a round.